There's three. I guess we can begin, right? I think it's all right. Frank, we're good? Start. Okay. How are you guys doing? Welcome.
Good evening.
Scranton Parking System, and we're here for our annual meetings. And Jacob, I guess we could start with you, right?
All set? Okay,
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Today, from the car park, Suzanne's here, and Andrew, General Manager and Operations Manager. So if any ops question comes up, we have them here with us today and moving forward. They'll be attending the meetings. Jumping right in, commercial lease update. The former Coliseum space over at the Medallion Garage, that's still vacant, that's still listed. No new inquiries, unfortunately, so we'll continue to market that space in hopes of filling that. The storage unit over at the Casey Garage, that was rented since the last time I was here, August 1st. The restaurant owner from across the alley is using that for some storage space and potentially developing into almost like a band space. So I think it's going to be a good partnership with that gentleman to just move forward and use that something other than storage. A few lease renewals since the last time I was here. Ciulla Investments over at the Medallion Garage, they renewed for 2 years. And Bartari over at the Casey Garage, they renewed for 3 years. So obviously positive news. A few expiring leases that we will be looking at. Comics on the Green at the end of the year. We have started early conversations with the owner there to extend to keep them in the space. So obviously good news. Catch 21 over at the Linden Garage, March of 26th, they'll be up. Several options, and the owner has expressed the desire to stay and execute the next option. And then lastly, Moravia Health, September of 26. I've not started conversations yet, but I know Moravia does have an option, so the plan will be to keep them there long term. Any questions on commercial leases? Sliding over.
What do you think is preventing people from going into that space where what was the
Coliseum space?
Yeah.
It's an odd space, and someone would need to put some money into it. So we did a vanilla finish, hoping to attract some folks. But it's 5,400 square feet, kind of you need the perfect tenant, right?
Right.
We in the past, we've talked to a few martial arts schools, showed some interest, but then it just didn't work out. So it's almost, talking with a local realtor, almost maybe a school like that. Otherwise, someone would have to come in, if they want to make a restaurant, there's no kitchen equipment, for example.
No infrastructure in there for that, right? Okay.
So it's a tough space, unfortunately, right now.
Okay, thanks.
Looking at some capital projects, the Mifflin Street lot, that has been repaved, completed as, I believe, the last few weeks that was completed. Medallion sewer issue, something we've been battling for quite a while. Project is moving along slowly but surely. We're going to be drilling some test pits later this week, if not next, to see how this pipe is laying and to finally design it the proper way to get the proper fix. Since the last time we were here, a few HVAC systems. Well, at Catch 21, the HVAC, that was completed, needed the upgrade. Pizza by Papa's, that will be happening hopefully in the coming months. We are waiting on a few parts to be shipped in from the manufacturer. Over at the Casey Garage, the fire pump needs to be replaced. Our contractor sent us a few options to get that done, and we're finalizing a rebuild on that fire pump to hopefully be done before the end of the year. And then the Linden Street elevator, that is still down. We applied for the LSA grant a few weeks back to help fund for that project. Any questions on the capital projects? A few other updates. Immobilization, we started that first week of July. And I think it's working the way we want it to. We saw an increase in violation revenue leading up to, once we made that announcement. And since then, tickets have decreased during the daytime and meter revenue's up. So again, it's an enforcement tool for us to get people to pay, and they're paying for their time and not violations, which we wanted to see. Expanded enforcement hours, that went into effect August 18th, so we have limited data on revenue and ticket writing, but what we have seen is that there's more turnover and more spaces between the 5 to 7 period. And again, that was the goal of the expanded enforcement hours for curb space for the local businesses. Any questions on those two updates? And then the last update I have is the weekend parking study. I shouldn't say weekend, Saturday parking study that Walker Parking Consultant will be carrying out for us. We are in data collection phase right now. We are working with Scranton tomorrow on the community outreach aspect of this study as well. November 20th, we'll be attending their quarterly meeting to discuss and get insight from local businesses, and also lay out how CDPS, Car Park, and Walker Parking Consultants will be reaching out to patrons of the system, business owners, residents downtown to get their view on the expanded potential Saturday hours. Any questions? And then jumping through, this is numbers through September, a little deceiving, but revenue, obviously a big thing here is, we're much better than budget, 236,000. Obviously a good thing, expenses, better than budget by 300,000, but there's a few factors in there that kind of skewed the numbers, and that should even out towards the end of the year. And the reason being, our parking equipment contract, there's been some issues with where we haven't paid year to date, and that's about $150K. We're negotiating a few things, and it's just based on the service agreement. So that's a big chunk of that, along with some budgeted legal expenses from the refi that we did not use all of it, and then payroll being the big chunk of that expense as well. So on paper, year to date, NOI is outstanding, but we're going to see that level off a little bit here in the last quarter. And then financials. I think the one big thing, especially with the immobilization, we're seeing the meter revenue increase the way we expected, and violation revenue starting to level out. Those are the big trends. Obviously down there as well, you can see the payroll, 20,000 better than budget, and then the other expenses, that's where the parking equipment service agreement and the legal fees come into play. Any questions on the financials or anything else I could elaborate on for you guys?
So the increase in revenue is reflective of the extended hours? Is that safe to?
No, not that big. I mean, we're better by 230. I think when we built this budget last year, we based our fourth quarter for this year from fourth quarter of 23, and last year's fourth quarter was so much better than expected. So our budget just, if you look at it, it just not, I don't want to say a nosedive in the fourth quarter, but we were using it based off our 23 numbers. And the system, the volume downtown has just been so much better than we expected. The expanded hours, this shows 6 weeks worth of data. Next time I'm here, we're going to have a whole, better sense of how much more revenue is generated from those 2 hours, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions for the group here?
I have a question, something that I brought up previously when Grow America was here last, and we were discussing about the voting on the legislation to expand the hours. So I had a question regarding the meters or the parking machines, and if there's a way of preventing people from putting in additional money outside of those hours, like say on the weekend when someone visiting might not know the hours. So I was wondering if that's been changed or accomplished.
Unfortunately, because of the age of the meters, they cannot shut off to not allow customers to put in money after hours. However, we do have the signage that, once 7 o'clock hits Monday through Friday, it'll say no, big print, no payment required.
On the front of the screen, and
on the
is it
screen,
posted
yeah.
but
Yeah.
that hasn't changed, right? Like that's been the same that
I know
from
that
what's been on there?
The language has changed a bit since that you brought
Has
that up
it?
last time.
Okay.
And then to go a bit further, the Pango app will not allow anyone to pay. So
Okay.
So hopefully with, once we upgrade meters in a year or two, we'll be able to cut that.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So with the upcoming streetscape project, there's potential for 69 to 70 new spots? There's potential for 69 to 70 new spots. What does that look like revenue-wise? Like, I don't know what an average spot produces revenue-wise.
Yeah, I just
Or a
learned of
car,
that
per
recently.
se.
I don't have the average, and I could send that to the group after to see the final plans and to kind of give you a ballpark.
Okay,
So
thanks.
we'll get that final plan, talk with our on-street supervisor.
Just curious.
Yeah, and I'm sure that would change your projected revenues for 2026, right?
Sure.
Once those changes are in place.
For sure, yeah.
Okay.
Is your mobile app Pango? Is that what you use for the,
Yeah, currently we're using Pango.
and how's that working for you?
Any complaints, guys? Andy?
No, we haven't had any complaints. It's working well.
We are going to look into, hopefully by summer of '26, possibly adding a second app, Park Mobile, but that would not replace Pango. It would just be another option for visitors of the city and residents, businesses, what have you.
Have you, I know this question came up, Mr. McAndrew had mentioned it before too. Do the meters or the kiosks, do they clearly indicate start and finish times on them? They do. So it's 8 until 7, correct?
Correct.
Monday through Friday.
Correct.
Okay.
And then after hours, they'll say no payment required. They'll switch over it.
Okay. Because I know that was a concern in the past where it kind of didn't,
Correct.
wasn't clear.
Do we have to, for Pango, do we have to pay a certain amount into that for utilization of that app?
I do not believe so, no. There's the user fee, the convenience fee that the end user does pay, but that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Thank
their,
you.
their
And that would be like the same thing with Park Mobile?
Yeah, it would mirror it. It wouldn't be anything more. And those conversations are in early stages. But yeah, it would mirror, it wouldn't be, that convenience fee wouldn't be anything more than Pango.
Yeah, it would just be another option for
Correct.
people, say you have that app already downloaded because you've used it in another city.
Correct, yeah.
Then you can utilize that instead of Pango. Gotcha.
Okay, we're okay. No more questions? All right, well, thank you very much
All right, thank you.
for coming in.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, Frank, do you get Frank a copy of your? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Get it. Okay.